Hi, my name's Lindy and welcome to my channel. My website is www.lindycowling.co.uk and my email is info@lindycowling.co.uk, and the title of this short video this afternoon UK time is Scalar waves and the connection with twin flames. Scalar waves in relation to twin flames. So this is going to be one of these videos that's a little bit unusual for me in that I have made some notes because of well, it's not really the complexity of what I'm trying to explain, but I've been integrating the knowledge on it, if you like. And so when you're integrating it, it takes a while to kind of process. And so this one's been swimming around in the mix for a couple of weeks. And it was actually easier for me to jot down some notes to do this video than doing it straight from the heart on this one. So in terms of scalar waves, scalar linking to the energy of the sun, has a link to the energy of the sun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold some notes I've got just out of the view of the camera here. So if you keep seeing me flicking my eyes down, it's because I'm looking at these notes at the same time. So scalar wave, a pair of identical waves, you could say a wave and an anti-wave that are, let's say, in sync, out of sync, in sync, out of sync, in the same kind of phase and then not in the same kind of phase. Absolutely identical. And these scalar waves, different cultures or belief systems or teachings have different names for it. So some of them might call them 0 point, and I refer to 0 point energy continually on this channel. Some call it chi, and some say the same thing for prana. So scalar waves, a pair of identical waves, you could say a wave or an anti-wave, or you could say in sync and out of sync, another way of saying it, or along the same wavelength or in the same phase and then out of phase. And different people refer to it as different things, but they're talking about the same thing, so 0 point energy, prana, chi, etc. And at a particular point, scalar waves, let's say, you could say kind of merge, but they kind of overlap, I could say kind of merge, and they go inwards or in on themselves, now aligning to how we go inwards and go in on ourselves, and aligning with the fact that we are vibrational beings, we are all energy beings, and we're all completely energy related. And in terms, the relation to twin flames, for example, aspects of same soul, for example, in more than one human body, the literally push and pull dynamic, in phase, out of phase, or in sync, out of sync, or wave, anti-wave. So you can see the relation there. The encouragement in all of the heart-based teaching that is experiential, going through a heart awakening process, is to go in on oneself, to go inward, to elevate one's consciousness and to shift what needs to be shifted. And this particular energy has links, scalar energy, to the sun. And it's quite funny actually, if you look back over my YouTube channel over the last 5 years, particularly in the last 3 to 4 years, there are constant images. All photographs on there have been taken by myself of the sun, and always the sun and beams of light and phenomena from the sun. Scalar energy is not in a linear trajectory, it's in a non-linear trajectory. And when identical or extremely similar, or actual frequencies that are, let's say, hot and cold, night and day, yin and yang, etc., etc., meet, they can actually hit a point where, I'm going to say, there's kind of, we can call it the merge. I've been consistently referring to those terms on this channel all the way through, and they can literally come into a point where this happens. So you've got the two, they go like that, they go like that, and it's at that point that there is the phenomena or the facility to be a creator, to create, or to literally implode. And when I say create, you can create wonderful things, or you can create kind of like chaos. So when this happens, according to where they're at, there is the possibility at that point to access that creation in the energy field, that creation in consciousness, that creation in the heart. But of course you can create chaos, or you can create, you know, paradise, depending on where you're at. And also at a particular point of that process, when those identical, same frequency aspects meet, or different polarities of the same frequency meet in energy terms meet, there can be that dynamic of locking horns and like two deer butting heads or butting antlers, and it's like the antlers get locked on and almost become stuck. So this can happen. So forgive me when I'm just referring to notes here as I'm saying it. So these identical frequencies yet can be opposite ends of the same frequency, or opposite ends of the same vibration, two different ends of the same spectrum. At the points where they can merge, at that point, at the point where one can create, so it's an inner merge, remember, it's all being done inwardly and energetically. Yes, it can be done outwardly with the twin or the other or another as well, but I'm talking about inwardly here. At the point where the energies are at the point where they can create, and the point of creation, it's at that point that you go into a quantum state of reality. And again, it's at that point that overlaps with the energy of creation, or carnage, or creation and destruction. Magnetically wise, could be total polar opposites. Personality wise, could be total polar opposites. And yet combined create an extraordinary and generate an extraordinary field of energy, that really the energy again of creation. And yet when it is not in balance, or they are not in balance, or one is not in balance and the other is, it doesn't really matter what theme here, can be utterly destructive, both, let's say, individually, but outwardly as well, which is why, going on to a different level here, you will find in genuine twin flame union that if the overall energies are not balanced out, you will find in genuine twin flame union so few of them actually around each other, because the potential to create is off the charts, and to create for the collective, act of service wise, but the potential to destruct is just as strong when it is out of balance. And I've often used this analogy when I've been working with clients over the years. In my way of kind of saying it, it's like you can create inadvertently a nuclear explosion, and not in the positive sense, if you have these quantum energy dynamics around each other in relation to twin flames, shall we say, before all of these different things are balanced. So it's balanced in the masculine, balanced in the feminine, balanced within the feminine, balanced within the masculine and feminine within different aspects of same soul being in balance, both up to the same speed, both up to the same level. Otherwise, it's not creation, it can be destructive. And in relation to twin flames, the process that's happening inwardly is also happening externally. But we could also say that even, I'm doing this video specifically in relation to twin flames, but let's say for people that aren't going through that particular awakening process in that way, the same thing could be said for anyone going for a journey into the heart. They all reach points in their heart elevation where they come into an energy of creation. And it's all a question of balancing this all out vibrationally and in their own frequency to elevate that vibration. But this video is specifically talking about when aspects of the same soul are showing up in more than one human vehicle in a polarized or opposing form, yet identical. But you can have, like I say, hot or cold, night or day, those kind of things. I've talked about this on video before. Or when there is an imbalance going on at a certain level, and when they meet, it can go one of two ways. Either one will eclipse or almost cancel out the other if it's not in balance. If it's in balance, you've got a direct bang, big bang, literally, creation. If out of balance, then you've got also locking horns, and could get almost like two deers locking antler, two stags locking their antlers. This dynamic going on. But in its highest form, when that meeting in energy is totally in balance within the one, within the other, and this happens, you are forming a quantum perception, quantum reality, and at that point are able literally to create miracles within yourselves and, you know, with the collective. So it's an amazing thing, and this energy is intrinsically connected with the sun, the energy of the sun, the consciousness of the sun, and going backwards and forwards, just like our energy is connected to consciousness per se, but also to the living vibration and frequency of the planet we're living on, and us affecting that and that affecting us, and this two-way street of communication all the time. So with the energy of the sun, and there's an interplay between the two. So I hope I've kind of explained that. When the magnetics and the electromagnetic aspects of the two become one, that's the song, isn't it? To become one. That's Spice Girls songs, wasn't it? Spice Girls. When the two become one. Then you have this enormous potential then, like I say, to, especially when in balance, phenomenal. When not in balance, carnage, you know, getting stuck, a nuclear explosion, literally, very destructive then process. And so all the way along, you know, you can see where I'm going with this. I hope I'm doing it justice. When the two are around each other in balance as well, they create, well, let's say a third energy, which we've been talking about on this channel all the way along. Quantum energy. But almost like a third expression of that energy, a third vehicle for that energy. In its true form. I'm going to say it's higher form, but really in its true form. So I hope I've done that a bit of justice. I've been batting around with this one for 2 or 3 weeks, and I've got my head round, so I understand it, most of it, what I've already been saying in some ways over and over again on this channel. But it's like putting those pieces together, and that resonant aha, this is what's going on here. So I thought you might find it interesting from the quantum perspective. I mean, everyone on this planet, whether they're going through an awakening, whatever trajectory, whether it's an ascension template like Twin Flame Union or something else, are going to hit these particular stages. But this video is specifically talking about if you meet an identical match, an identical expression of you, even with be completely different personality, completely different age, skin color, culture, life path, but in frequency and energy, if your aspects of coming from the same soul, for example, the advantages of that, but also the complications of that in quantum physics speak, really. On that note, I'll love you and leave you. There is another video that I'm swimming around in the mix with. I may bring that out. I'm not sure over the next few days. It might be the next week or so, if another one doesn't eclipse that one. Until then, I hope you're doing well. I hope you got through your Januaries okay. I know it was a phenomenal month of change for a lot of you. It was a bit like the video I brought out on endings and beginnings, the January energy update I did. So a lot of that was resonant for a lot of people, actually, kind of myself included. So take care, happy February, and see you again soon, guys. Hope that made sense. Bye.